Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jennifer. For those who are new, welcome. And for those who are back, well, welcome back y'all. I invite you to subscribe if you've not done so already. We'd love to have you here as we talk a lot about luxury beauty. We just have a really good time doing so, and I'd love for you to join us. Today we have a very special video. We're going to talk about the Charlotte Tilbury Luxury Palette of Pops. This guy is so beautiful. Look at these shades, y'all. Wow. I'm going to show you swatches right here, but oh my goodness, you guys, this is such a beautiful palette. I have not used Charlotte Tilbury's palettes of Pops in the past, but I have used her pop shade that do come in some of her quads that she does make. I really like the formula of them, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to try it out and just see what it's like. So that's what we're going to do today. What we like to do here is we like to put swatches on our eyes. So instead of just looking at the swatches on our arms and things like that, we are going to do one shade, swatches on the eyes so that you can see what it looks like. I think what I'm going to do though with these is apply it wet and also apply it dry, because you kind of can do that with these, especially with that very pretty shimmer and sparkle. I'm also going to create a look after we are done swatching them wet and dry so that you guys can see what they look like all together. They're really pretty. So let's get into the swatches. All right, I brought you in a tad bit closer so that y'all can see what these look like. I'm going to start with the lightest shade here, and we're going to go ahead and swatch this on the eyes dry. These palette of Pops, I find the best way to apply them, honestly, is with a finger. I've tried these before with a brush. They're really pretty. It's a light swatch, honestly. We can try that first, and then I'll go back in with a finger application so that you guys can see that as well. Let's do it. With the brush application, there is some fallout. Now, if I go in with a finger application dry, there's not as much fallout because you have more control, right? Now, these are sparkle eyeshadows, y'all. They are very sparkly, very mature sparkle, I would say. Not something that's super chunky or anything like that. Nothing too chunky or glittery. Not a chunky glitter is what I'm trying to say, but they are sparkly. So if you're not looking for sparkle, these are not the eyeshadows for y'all. Oh, I meant to mention that it does retail for $53. I purchased mine off of Charlotte Tilbury, but it is available at Sephora as well, and I think the sale's coming up, so maybe a good option if you like sparkles, you know. Let's go in with a yes. So you can definitely tell how much different a swatch just applied dry with a finger application. Very beautiful. Next, I'm going to pick it up dry, but I am going to wet my finger with my Pure Rose Water Spray from Chantecaille. So you can kind of tell how it makes it just a little bit more pronounced. You can build them up as much as you want, or you can just lightly tap them on for just a pretty kind of extra glam to your eye look that you're going for. This is shade 1 in the Dazzling Diamonds Luxury Palette of Pops. Next, we're going to go in with a second shade. The second shade is more of this kind of gold color here. It's really beautiful. We are going to go in with a finger for a dry application and then go in with the wet application. Now, I did try to get off as much of the pretty sparkle as I could, but it is inevitable that some of that is going to stay on a bit. So you can tell with this is the dry application. Guys, even with it dry, it almost looks wet. It sometimes doesn't look too much different, honestly. But we're gonna apply it on wet just to see what it looks like. You can tell with this shade, especially when it's wet, it looks a little bit more foiled, whereas this looks more like just dazzling. And I kind of like the dazzling side better, you know, the non-wet one. This is such a pretty shade though. I mean, you could wear this just alone. It's so beautiful. They're both pretty. So this is the second shade in this palette by Charlotte Tilbury. This glitter doesn't like to go anywhere. It definitely stays on, so that's a good thing. I'm gonna save the deepest shade for last so that you guys can kind of see that without, you can see all the colors without a deep shade on, if that makes sense. But I'm gonna show this one here, which is the fourth shade in the palette. It's kind of this copper, really pretty, oh, just gorgeous shade. We're gonna go in on this side with it dry, and then this side wet. Yes, I love this shade. It's probably one of my favorite shades in the palette. I mean, they're all really beautiful, but I mean, guys, this I feel like just makes my eyes pop too, which I just love. So it's just so pretty. Yes. All right, let's try it wet. Definitely a bit more foiled on the lid on this side. I personally still love this side better. I just love that little pretty reflective kind of diamond sparkle in a way. They're both beautiful, but I prefer this side a little bit better. I feel like it pops a bit more too. It's actually the fourth shade. The third shade we're going to do next. We're kind of living in Sparkle City, you guys. I had a little bit of fallout and I try to, like I said, I'm trying to get off all the sparkle that I can, but goodness, it's just so pretty. But let's see. And you know, this is, I'm not gonna really knock it because there is sparkles when I'm trying to remove it and things like that. I think that's to be expected. Does that make sense? Yes, you don't want to get sparkles all over your face or anything, but it's not getting on my face when I'm applying it or necessarily wearing it, only when I'm trying to get it off. Let's go in with the third shade. It's this shade here. Now, originally I thought it was kind of like a green, but it's almost kind of this blue, I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of like this blue undertone shade. So we're gonna try that. It does quite look green a little in the promo pictures and things like that, but it really isn't. Let's try this on dry. Now, since this does have a lot more pigment in the base of the shadow itself, I am going to take a brush and really kind of blend that up. So kind of blend it up like right here. So there's not like a really harsh line, but you can see it kind of blends out a bit, almost dark brown. Kind of like that. That's without being wet or anything like that. This is really pigmented and really pretty. I do really like this particular shadow. The way I worn the shadow, which I'm going to show you in a bit, is in the corner, in the crease. It's a perfect pop. Oh, so pretty. So let's go ahead and do it wet on the other eye. So I am going to clean this up, but you can definitely tell that making it damp and putting it all over the eye really pops this shade. You can definitely tell a difference with the shade itself. Like, this would be super evening look for me personally. Let me clean this up real quick and I'll be right back. So you can tell this one's diffused out a bit more, whereas this one here is definitely that packs a big punch, if you know what I mean. But both are beautiful. It can be worn both ways, which is kind of neat, I think. So this is the third shadow in this luxury palette of Pops eyeshadow. These are all the swatches on the eyes, wet and dry, so that you guys can see what they look like and kind of what your thoughts are. I like them. I really do. I think that they swatch really well. They're beautiful on. I personally kind of like them not wet. I kind of like them dry. I love that kind of more sparkly, less metallic look to these. I think that they're really pretty, but I like the fact that I could kind of build it up in a certain area if I wanted to. Maybe if I'm doing a halo lid or something like that, that might be something fun to do as well. And you could definitely use these in that kind of capacity. Let me take these off and let's do a look, guys. Are we ready? Are we ready to do a full look? I'm so excited because there's a certain way that I'm liking to apply these shadows because I feel like they all complement each other extremely well, like really well. But there's a reason why she has this kind of darker shade in here. It's very interesting. Now, with that being said, I do use a brush with this darker shade in this look that I'm going to create. Now, like I said before, if you want the ultimate impact, you're definitely going to want to use your fingers, but with this, I don't want the ultimate impact with this particular shade. So I am going to go in and just really go right here in the crease and just deepen this right here. That's the only place I want this shade, is right here. And honestly, I don't get much fallout when I do use a brush with this shade, interestingly enough. I feel like the formula that she has, the suspension of these glitters, is really well suspended. It's actually quite interesting. It feels almost like a, you know how to describe it, almost like a, not a putty, but it's real slick. It's real slick, but it also is soft. It's hard to explain. So that is the start of the eye look. I'm going to do the other side and I'll be right back. All right, so this is what we have so far. Next, we're going to go in with the darker shade here. So I'm actually working from the deepest shade to the lightest shade, and I'm doing almost like an ombre effect where I'll use the darker shade here and then go in with the lighter shade after this, kind of like that. I'll do the other eye. And now I'll go in with this shade here. It's that gold we just looked at. So that one's next. And I'm going in the center right here and just into the like inner third of the lid. And then over here. This is so fun, you guys. And now the highlighter right here. I call this a highlighter. This is very transparent in that it doesn't have a lot of, the beige shade of this is not going to give you any color technically. It's just glitter, really. It's very transparent, but I love, and I'm bringing it to blend this all together right here. So that is that eye. Let me do this one. Now it looks a little crazy right now, but I am going to blend these together. Let's go ahead and do that. Now I'm blending them together so it's not as stark on the outside, so that there is definitely a pretty blend to these. And I'm bringing that shade up a bit to make it a bit deeper. You don't have to do that, but it is pretty. So that's what that eye looks like. Bringing this up a bit more too. The really neat thing about this deeper shade, what's unique about it is that when you blend out the base color like I have, the sparkle just shines. It just comes out of the shade itself. And I love that. I think it's very beautiful. Okay, y'all, I'm going to line my waterline, put mascara on, and I'll be right back. All right, y'all, this is the final look. I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. I really have been enjoying this palette of Pops, guys. This is so beautiful on. I love the shades. I love that I can just pull this out. I could use one shade. I could use them all. It's so good. And I love the formula. And you know, if I wanted to just pizzazz it up a little bit more, I throw a little, just a tad more on the center. It's so versatile. It's really nice. I love the colors. I like that they're neutral, yet there is this one pop of color in there that allows you to kind of deepen up the eye and smoke it out if you really want to. Or you could wear it all over the lid. It is gorgeous, y'all. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that the swatches and the look is helpful for y'all. I always want to give you the utmost information when going over different products. Like I said, this particular product is available on Sephora's website. It retails for $53 and it is limited edition. So just an FYI, it is limited edition. One more thing. And I didn't realize this. It says it's free of sulfates, SLS and LCLSs, parabens, formaldehydes, formaldehyde releasing agents, phthalates, mineral oil, oxybenzone, coal tar, and many other various ingredients. It is cruelty-free, gluten-free, and comes in recyclable packaging. So just an FYI, I was not aware of that. Now they are calling this shade here kind of a navy black, which I can see definitely that being the case. I personally thought it was almost a green in the promo pictures, and I think a green would have been stunning personally, but I do like the navy black, and I think it is pretty in this with the use of these other shades within the palette too. So I think they all complement each other very well. I love the formula. Like I said, I think it's a great pickup if you're looking for something pretty and sparkly for the holidays or whatnot. Thank you guys again for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe below. Would love to have you here. And I will see y'all in my latest video right here next. Thank you guys so much again, and I'll see y'all there. Bye, y'all.